asked for it. Y'all voted for it. Here it is. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic. And today we're going to talk some football. The NFL draft is right around the corner. I put a poll out there asking what y'all want to hear about, what y'all want to talk about. And y'all decided. Y'all want to hear about Derek Stingley Jr. versus Sauce Gardner. So we're going to talk about, we're going to break down the two. We're going to talk about the comparisons and exactly who's the better corner in this draft. We're going to talk about, we're going to break it down. But hey, if y'all liking the content, make sure y'all liking the channel. Y'all subscribing to the channel. Click the links in the description below. Follow me on all social media platforms. Also, we giving away 30 days free with Amazon Prime. If you sign up to Amazon Prime, you get 30 days free. The links in the description. Follow me on social media. The links in the description. Also, share this on all your social media platforms. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, whatever type of social media platform you use. Share on there. Like, share, subscribe, comment on the videos. Let's get the channel growing and going. If you like the content, make sure y'all subscribe. Come on now. Let's get it going. Now, let's talk about it. We're going to talk about the two best corners in this draft. Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley Jr. Derek Stingley Jr., Sauce Gardner. It goes back and forth. It goes back and forth. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down because, like I said, watching tape, every time I watch tape on either one of these guys, I get extremely excited. And me being a Tex fan with the number 3 and the 13th pick, you want one of the two. I've been saying for the longest that Kyle Hamilton's the best player in the draft, and I'm still sticking by it that Kyle Hamilton's the best player in the draft. But you can't help but get excited by either one of these two corners. So what's the difference? Who would you rather have out of Sauce Gardner, out of Derek Stingley Jr.? So let's break it down. Like I say, Sauce Gardner. He's 21 years old, coming out cornerback out of Cincinnati. 21 years old. He's 6'3", 210 pounds. Ran a 4.41 at the combine. He three straight years, all 3 of his years, 19, 20, and 21, first team All ACC. Also was Defensive Player of the Year this past year, and was first team All American. Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback out of LSU. He's 20 years old. He's 6'1", 195 pounds. National champion. 2 years, 19 and 20, first All SEC in the toughest conference. Also was an All American. And when you watch him, he was up the boards. And then kind of fell off because he hasn't played much football. He missed last year with an injury. Also had the COVID year as well. But he was falling down the draft boards. You've seen him around maybe 12 or 13, 14, 15, stuff like that. Then he had his pro day, and he ran a 4.37. And now he's shooting back up the boards once again because of their speed, because you can't teach speed. We all know that you cannot teach speed at all. And when you talk about a cornerback like Derek Stingley, I mean, he's just dynamic. I mean, dude's special. And when you think about the talent that he had to go up against being the corner at LSU, not to mention he had to practice against Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase every day at practice. Then you go up against Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, Waddle. I forgot what the receiver the guy they're talking about, Treylon Burks from Arizona. Not Arizona, from Arkansas. Treylon Burks is going to be in this year's draft. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had to go up against. I don't know for a fact if he had to go up against DK. I don't think so, because I think DK came out in the 18th. I think DK and AJ came out in the 19th draft. So yeah, so no, because he was a freshman in 19, so he wouldn't have went up against them. But coming on the field as a true freshman, stepping on the field at the age of 19 years old, was a dominant player, a very dynamic player. It's a play, the LSU's national championship year, when they played against UT, when they played against Texas, and the quarterback throws the football. Sam Manager throws the football, and the receiver catches it. Derek Stingley, in one motion, sticks his hand in there, swats the ball down, and as they all fall into the ground, comes up with the interception. The boy just made plays. If the ball is in this area, 9 times out of 10, he's coming down with it. It ain't just a batted pass. He's a play-making cornerback. A special talent. I knew the boy was good. I've seen tape. I knew the boy was good, but watching tape even more, especially you throwing with that, you putting him on with that 4.37 speed to it. He's a very, very special player. Very high instincts. Extremely high instincts. That's why I say I would love, the best combination for me as a Texas fan is to pair him up with Kyle Hamilton. It's better, if you get Kyle Hamilton at 3 and then get Derek Stingley at 13 by some way, because now Derek Stingley can do whatever he wants to do. He can use all his instincts. He can take all the chances, all the risks, because that's what he is. He's going to be a risk-reward type of cornerback. Risk versus reward. If he's going to take a lot of risk, it's going to make up for him. Kind of like how JJ was in the height of JJ's career, when you just let JJ do what JJ wanted to do. You let him freelance. You let him do whatever you want to do, because he was going to make more plays than give up plays. And that's the type of player that Derek Stingley is. It's kind of different at a cornerback position, because you could get, you could slip up and make the wrong decision. Like I say, you could be in perfect position all game long and be a hair off of a pass, and it goes from being a bad pass or interception to a 60-yard bomb for a touchdown, just because it's just difficult to play that position. So you don't really want your corner to take those chances, but he's a special guy who could take those chances. I remember Deion Sanders used to say this all the time. He used to play with receivers, as far as he would let quarterbacks and receivers think they were open, and he would basically lull them to sleep and use his speed. Derek Stingley does that as well. He can let a receiver think a receiver's open. He can let a quarterback and a receiver think that they're open and lull them to sleep. Oh, okay, boom, I got a play. Throw it. And he got his recovery speed to make up for it. He's just that dynamic. He's a return guy. You can use him on return guys as well. Just a very, very special playmaker. Just a very special playmaker. But then you got Sauce, who is physical, uses hands. Like I said, like I told you before, he's in the receiver's hip pocket the whole entire route. He's running the receiver's route every single time for him. He has great eyes. Great eyes. He has a high IQ. He has great eyes. He knows where to be at, and he uses his techniques to the fullest. He's very technical. He's very technical. Like I said, he's very physical, very technical. Uses his hand. He doesn't rely on skills. See, Derek relies on skills and just raw natural ability. Sauce is more technical. Uses his hands. Uses his strength. Uses his big body. The bully receivers. He does what he does. He's just straight bully and punk receivers. He bullies them on their routes. Like I say, he's in the hip pocket the whole entire route. The whole entire route. And like I say, now with using his hands, like the downside to use your hands a lot, you can't get caught with your hands in the cookie jar. You can't get caught with your hands in the cookie jar and get called for pass interference, call here and there. Like I said, for a young corner, a young physical corner like that, I don't mind that. First year, second year, as long as it's not in crucial plays, like, a crucial down distance when you giving up a first down, when you could have had the guys off the field, or you giving up a play that basically game-winning drive type situation, or you extending drives in bad crucial situations. Those are not excusable. I don't care if you're a freshman. I don't care if you're a rookie. I don't care if you're a 12-year vet. Those are never excusable. But a pass interference call here and there throughout the fluctuation of a game for a young guy who uses his hands, I'm okay with that. If he makes up for it. Now, if it's something he doesn't correct and it just gets worse and worse, or that's all he has, like Alani Johnson, like Alani Johnson, that's different. Like a Kareem Jackson, that's different. But actually, Kareem Jackson really just got burned more times. It wasn't really pass interference calls. But Lonnie gets his hand caught in the cookie jar a little bit too much, because he tries to be a physical corner, but he doesn't make up for it. Like, even though Lonnie doesn't make up for it, Lonnie doesn't use it to make for it, and Lonnie doesn't use his hands right, and never gets his head around. He never gets his head. That's Lonnie's. He never gets his head around. Sauce does. Sauce gets his head around. So and Sauce bullies the receiver at the top of the route. Every time the receiver jumps up, he's putting his hands on the receivers and charging them up at the top of their route. Receivers never get their routes off clean. It's the reason why he never gave up a touchdown. Now I know people are okay. He played in the ACC while Derek Stingley played in the SEC. Yes, Derek Stingley definitely played against a tougher competition. Also played in a tougher conference against tougher competition. We talked about that. We just talked about all the type of receivers, especially at Bama, they had to go up against. But Derek Stingley, but Sauce Gardner, national championship game against the Alabama receivers coming out in this year's draft against Heisman Trophy winner and Bryce Young, still never gave up a touchdown. Doesn't give up plays. He does not give up plays. He just doesn't, because he charges up receivers at the top of their route every single time. And he's strong, he's physical. He's my favorite type of corner. I like the type of corner he is, because he puts you in the mindset of Jalen Ramsey. As far as, like, I'm gonna get in your head today, and then the confidence that he oozes out. I'm the best player in this draft. I want to be the best corner in the NFL as a rookie. I'm the best player in this draft. You better draft me. Like, confidence is the number one thing a DB has. It really is. Like the whole Dion, look good, feel good, play good, pay good. If you look good, you play good, pay good, live good. Like the whole thing, like the whole prime time, the whole swag that he has, the Real Reavers Island, all the trash talk that Jalen Ramsey does, that is very vital for cornerbacks. That's you have to have confidence, because once your confidence is shot at the DB position, it's a wrap. It's a wrapper. You get beat all the time. Ask Aaron Colvin. Ask Kareem Jackson. Once their confidence is shot, Kareem Jackson rookie year. Then once his confidence was shot, it was a wrap. It took getting Vance Joseph and Jonathan Joseph and Daniel Manning, get Jonathan Joseph opposite side of him, get Daniel Manning behind him, getting Glover Quinn behind him as well, and then getting Vance Joseph as the DB coach to help lift Kareem Jackson up. And we still didn't get a good Kareem Jackson up until they moved him to safety. He still, up until they moved him to the position he was supposed to be in at safety. That's when you finally got the best Kareem Jackson that you had. And like I said, people want to talk about, but Kareem Jackson last year as a Texan, he played damn good as a safety. Damn good. He was better safety than both Justin Reed and Honey Badger on that 2018 team. I don't care what nobody said. He played better than both of them in that defense on that team that year. He did. So, but see how long it took for his confidence to get back up. And it took other pieces around him for his confidence to get back up. You had that in Sauce. Sauce has a confidence. I'm not saying that Derek Stingley is not confident, because Derek Stingley has a lot of instincts. He has a lot of skill, natural, raw skill, natural talent. I mean, I think he's the number one rated player coming out of high school as a DB when he came out of high school. And you hear people talk about, you hear coaches and you hear other players talk about, on that national championship team, being on the field with a Heisman Trophy winner, the number one overall draft pick in Joe Burrow, being on the field with both Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Christian Fulton. Now Greed wasn't on that team. Greed was gone by then. There's another DB that they had. I can't think of who his name is just right off the top of my head. Thaddeus Moss and things like that from tight end position. They said that Derek Stingley was the best player on that team. They said that Derek Stingley was the best player. All those people I just named: Joe Burrow, number one overall draft pick, Heisman Trophy winner, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Christian Fulton. These are high picks. Even though Christian Fulton won the second round, these are picks. Thaddeus Moss, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Derek Stingley was the best player on that field. He was the best player on their team. That's what LSU people say. That's what coaches say. That's what other opponents say. That when he was on the field, he was the best player on the field. That's how dynamic he is. That's how special raw talent he is. And I think if he doesn't miss time, because I know he only played 10 games in 2 years. If he doesn't miss time and he's on the field more, Derek Stingley is probably challenging Kyle Hamilton to be the best player in this draft. Derek Stingley is probably undisputedly a top 5 pick without argument if he plays the last 2 years. It's really more so out of sight, out of mind between him and Sauce. It really is. See, he plays in a way more tougher division, way more tougher conference, against way more tougher receivers opponents, and he shined. And like I say, he's a superstar waiting to happen. He really is. He's a superstar type of player. That's really what he is. He's a superstar type player. Like when you see him, he just oozes out being a superstar. He's a superstar type of talent. You can't, like I said, you can't teach that 4.37, and it shows on the field. When you watch the tape, it's not just he's just a track guy. He just runs tape. When you watch it on the field, you see that 4.37 speed, and you see it in cover skills. And the boy just, gets his hands around all the football. He just gets his hands on all the footballs. Like he just does. He's just a playmaker. He's a game changing type of guy. He's an impactful type of player. A very special type of corner. And you'd be damn good to have him on your team. He's a superstar type of guy waiting to happen. He's a guy who can win Defensive Player of the Year a couple times. He's a perennial Pro Bowler. He's a perennial All-Pro, number one corner in the league, lockdown corner. He absolutely is. Definitely is. Dynamic, skillful. I would love to have him on the team. But you know what? Even saying all that, Sauce Gardner's still my number one corner in this draft. He really is. For me personally, he is still my number one corner in this draft because his technique is unmatchable, man. I understand that Derek Stingley has all the skills, and everybody who out there who loves him some Derek Stingley Jr. in his Derek Stingley Jr. or bust. I get where you coming from. I understand. And if the Texans draft Derek Stingley, number 3 overall, I will buy a jersey. Like straight up. We won't have to wait for this. Hey, as soon as those jerseys are gonna sell, I'll buy a Derek Stingley jersey. I already know I won't Kyle Hamilton. He's my number one player in the draft. Kyle Hamilton, damn sure buying a jersey as soon as they go on sales. Sauce? Absolutely. Because I think the Sauce is the best. I think the Sauce is the best corner. And for me, the way I like corners, big, strong, physical corners, use their hands, challenge receivers at the top of their routes, run every route for the receiver in their hip pocket the whole entire route, uses his eyes, gets his hands around, just technically sound. And you tell me he got the potential to be up here with Lovie Smith, who watches him and sees Peanut Tillman? Come on, man. You can't write that. It's destined for that to happen, bro. It really is. I really want Kyle Hamilton, but it's destined for Sauce Gardner to be a Texan. It's destined for Sauce Gardner to be linked up with Lovie Smith. It just is. It just really is. There's no way to slice it. And I get it. Lovie talked to him at the combine. Brought him at their pro day. He brought him to his side, talked to him one at his pro day, and also brought him in this past week. Now, they also brought in Derek Stingley Jr. this past week, too, for this past weekend for a private workout. So, it's kind of like, I'm actually seeing a very strong Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes type situation with Derek Stingley and Sauce Gardner. And what I mean by that, I think Rick Smith had Deshaun Watson and had Patrick Mahomes right underneath it. I think Bill O'Brien had Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson right underneath it. And you couldn't go wrong with either one in their eyes. They just had their preference. I think that Lovie has Sauce Gardner and Derek Stingley is right under. I don't know if Nick Caserio has it flipped and Nick Caserio is more Derek Stingley than Sauce Gardner. But I do know this. He values secondary coming from New England. Because if you look at anything that New England does, they always value secondary and DBs over pass rushers, over any other thing outside Tom Brady. I mean, they went out there, they traded for Stephon Gilmore. Paid Stephon Gilmore. They went out there and traded and got Darrell Reeves and Brandon Brown. They went out and got what's his name from the Chargers? Dang, I can't think of his name. Dang, I can't think of his name. Harrison. When I got Harrison from the Chargers. You got Asante Samuel, things like that. I know Malcolm Butler they got later on. Malcolm Butler was an undrafted free agent. But remember, Malcolm Butler was on the team with both Brandon Brown and Darrell Reeves. They went out and got and traded for Aqib Talib. I forgot about that. They traded for Aqib Talib. I think it was the year they lost to the Giants. The second time they had Aqib. They always go after DBs. They do. So Hamilton, Sauce, Derek Stingley are definitely on their radar. Don't forget Kyrie Elam out of Florida, who I think is an AJ Bouye clone. Booth Jr. from Clemson. I'm not really all that high on McDuffie. I think McDuffie is a good guy, but I think he's underneath. I think Trent McDuffie is underneath Kyrie Elam and Booth Jr. obviously under Sauce and Derek Stingley, because those are the two top corners in my personal opinion. But secondary is definitely on their radar, especially with 3 and 13. I don't think the Texans will draft exactly at 3 and 13. I have a feeling they'll move at least one of those picks back, if not both. But you, those guys are definitely on their radar. And like I say, out of the two, you can't go wrong with either one. For me personally, I'm taking Sauce because he's dripping with sauce. But no, but just because the way his technique is, the way he uses his hands, he's just technically sound. I like that dynamic, even though Derek Stingley is a raw talent type of guy, just 100% just pure talent, bona fide superstar in the making. I just think that Sauce is going to be more of a lockdown because of his technique, and Derek Stingley is going to be could be a superstar type of player. I think he can and will be a superstar type of player. But I think that Sauce is more of a physical type of corner and the type of corner that you would need, especially in today's NFL. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. I holla.